Oh, I was testing my new glasses with my hat. Hello, my beautiful viewers on E360. How are you feeling? I am so excited, and we've got a few diamond beauties already viewing the show. So please, my beautiful ladies, please send us some love comments. We are live, we are able to answer. So, my beautiful guest, my co host, and my beautiful spotlight author, Natalie, this is all for you. It's a this glasses was bought in the 70s, and beautiful Jackie Foss' mother gave this to me. It's still proper old school plastic. It's beautiful. So yes, my beautiful ones, are you ready to experience an amazing author that have put her heart, her soul on in a book, and it's amazing because we are going to be part of her launch. She's going to launch this amazing book of hers mid-December, and you are able to be at the launch party and do pre-bookings of the book as well. So we are truly honored that she chose us to be part of a launch party. Woo, 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 woo. My beautiful Miracle Man Howard, Rosebud Krista, and Life Force Laura, please introduce yourself, and then we will ask our beautiful Natalie to introduce her, and then we will start off with the questions. Miracle Man?
Excellent. So I'm Howard Brown in Michigan, USA. Happy U.S. Thanksgiving tomorrow to everybody. I'm affectionately known as Mr. Shining Brightly because we all get knocked down in life and in business and in health and in relationships. And we must learn from that walk in darkness and get back up again and again and again. I am a best-selling author of my memoir, Shining Brightly. I have a top podcast called the Shining Brightly Podcast that looks at human resolve and basically our lessons learned and how we lift up others. And I speak on all sorts of stages. Let me shine for you. So glad to be here with you, Natalie. We are thrilled you are our featured spotlight author today.
Hello, that was awesome, Howard. So happy to see you again. And of course, everyone bring their glasses. So my name is Christa, aka Rosebud. And I'm coming from Canada, Ontario. And I have gone through life-altering tragedies, and I try to show you how the process of changing your mindset can really change and shift your life. And that's why I wrote the book that made Amazon #1 bestseller. Skip the pain, experience the pleasure, cut the crap that's holding you back so you can live the life you love. Because when it comes down to it, that's all it is stuff that's holding us back. I'm an international speaker and obviously TV co host, a nutritionist, and an energy worker. And I'm just so excited. Love the book. Very honored to be able to read it. And yeah, let's get into this.
Cool. Hi, everybody. Laura Brennan, Ballet. I am the thought energy expert. I'm all about empowering ourselves to empower one another. And part of this group we have here, this family, this tribe, and all the new additions, such as yourself, Natalie, that come on, it really is an honor. We don't take this lightly. This is really important to us. Storytelling, authorizing our voice, and sharing a lot of what we've been through to help one another. So it's just an amazing book. I have way too many questions, but I'll figure it out as we go along. And like everyone, podcast hosts, speak all over the world. YouTube channel is starting to skyrocket. And I just really believe that how we can learn to redesign our thought energy in order to level up into our potential. You and I share a little bit of vernacular privately. When I read the book, we've got kind of a same mindset on some levels. So it was really just a privilege to dive into this part of your life. And thank you for your vulnerability and sharing it, because that's the way we heal. So onward. Miss Sanet, would you like to share about yourself? And then Natalie?
Thank you. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Christiana. She said, sending so much love here to you, my beautiful Christiana. And then I am Sanet. I am from Johannesburg, South Africa, currently in New Zealand. My beautiful grandson on Monday is 2 months. Can you believe it? I am more here the last 4 months than my time is now limited going back. So I am a voice amplifier. I create space and stages for incredible humans to come and share their wisdom, their brilliance, and their amazing stories. So this is part of my dream, and I'm so grateful for all my amazing co-hosts and all the spotlight authors that we had, and especially today for Nattolie for being in my life. So, my beautiful Nattolie, please introduce yourself, my girl.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here. I'm Nattolie Chilton from Athabasca, Alberta. I'm a Mrs. Potts in the Diamond Beauty, so a mental health expert. I'm actually a certified therapist, so solution focused counseling, truth coach, and author of The Ripple Effect at this point. So I'm an activist. So standing up for the vulnerable, speaking out on important things.
Wow.
Yes.
I love it. And I've told you your book is going to change so many people's lives around the world. I will just bring my mic a little bit closer. So many people around the world. So I'm truly honored to have you here. And then I'm going to start off with beautiful Howard. You can start off with the questions, my beautiful man.
I appreciate that. Nattolie, first of all, I want to congratulate you because you are the most stunning Diamond Moments magazine cover girl. I want to tell you, just an amazing, amazing issue. I loved your cover. I loved the story. I loved your insight of getting to know you before reading this book. And I just want to tell you, I'm still reading it because there's a lot of content inside the magazine, but it was a real privilege to see you on that cover, and you're like a supermodel, and it's just gorgeous. And I just want to thank you for that, and just you were shining so brightly. Here's my first question, okay? And I have to tell you that I looked at your book, had to go sit by myself to digest it. And the word that came to me was intensity. Please tell me your decision for your book cover and what are some of the impressions that you're intending.
Thank you for all those beautiful words. You brought me to tears already. But yeah, so beautiful. Thank you. Intensity. Well, that's how it felt. So this powerful cover, I literally searched for probably 40 hours through Getty Images and many other images. They wouldn't allow me to use my own image. I wanted to use it, but there were times in my 20s, in the beginning of when I was remembering when the pain started to break through, and I would primal scream like this. And that is, I felt frozen, hence the glass, and the just screaming for many years, literally in therapy, getting it out. So that's why I used that. I wanted, it was important for me to be truthful as I can be in every detail. Thank you for the question.
I just want to tell you that. So after I had to process it. So you made the impression that you were looking for. Okay. This book has some intensity to it, and that's okay. But most people look in the mirror and they don't look like what they see. And for many, many years, you did not like what you see. And now you love what you see. So I just want to tell you that whatever your intention was with that cover, it hit me hard and strong, and it made me open the book and to keep reading. So thank you for that. Miss Rosebud?
Yes, I totally agree with Howard. That cover is amazing and definitely speaks volumes to what your book is about. I'm going to get into a little bit about your book. So there was one spot that really kind of hit me. And it kind of goes with the theme about not being able to express your feelings. So you had a friend that I believe her name was Lenny. Am I pronouncing it right? And
Laney, yeah, Laney.
Lainey. Okay, thank you, Lainey. So she ended up passing away, and your mother came up to you and told you, and you had to squeeze your bicep to keep those feelings inside. And you made this comment that even how you respond to death is wrong. And basically, no matter what you do, it doesn't seem right. So, how has that changed throughout the years, throughout the book, and throughout the years where you are now with being able to express your emotions? And tell the viewers a little bit about how important it is to express those emotions.
Wow. Okay. Well, narcissism was something that I grew up with. So that is basically a person who's bigger than life, than everybody else, needs to be that way. And there are, woundings that they have, which is why they behave that way, which I understand now. But as a child, you just experience energetically, and I am very sensitive energetically, like exquisitely sensitive. So it was exquisitely difficult. And so it's kind of like a fire hose of this energy that's wanting to suppress. And so I did. I responded, even when there wasn't words, because I felt it, and I was like a turtle. I love turtles, but I turtled for many years and grew a shell, and it was almost like so many layers of scar tissue, protection, that it really took a lot of pressure to crack that open so that I could come back out again. So, God works in mysterious ways.
You know what? That's so true. I love that last statement. God works in mysterious ways. And I think one of the ways is you used your vulnerable story to put it out there in the world and to take the opportunity to break that shell so you can tell everybody not only what you went through, but how you overcame it as well. And looking at you right now, as a strong, independent woman, and reaching so many people and really touching a lot of people's lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your reflection. It's so beautiful.
Thank
Krista.
you. Laura.
Yeah. I wish you could see my desk here. I think I'd like to just say that this book is something that we can discuss for hours. And moving it into, roughly 50 minutes, there's no way we can do justice to it. I think the vulnerability and the beauty and the power that's in it, to try to convey that out. And we're pretty skilled at what we do, but everyone buy the book. For those of us that carry still some silence, I think this book will be a moment of freedom to become unsilenced, if even through journal or meditation or with a friend or maybe a breakthrough session with therapy. I think there's something, again, the way you write, how you write it, that I recognize behind it. And, when you were talking about scar tissue, I look at that as energetic tissue. I have since I was very young, in what I study and kind of in the quantum field of conscious healing. So there's just so much I want to say, but I'm going to stay maybe a little bit lighter, but I'm not sure. I love chapter titles. There's something about the titles within the book at the chapters that I feel is the just the beginning of the journey into the book. I really look at them, I think, differently than probably the average person. Two titles, chapters that I just love. But so I'm going to ask you two parts. A little bit of author's insight around the choosing of those titles. Two of them particular, electric fences and growing up a measure of contrast. Those two titles for me really encapsulate a lot. A lot of what's in the book, a lot of what you've gone through, and really almost what it would take to break through an electric fence to become unsilenced. And the measure of contrast I love. Contrast are teaching mechanisms. But so just a little bit of insight around your titles to your chapters, because I think they're just amazing.
You're such an insightful question asker, interviewer. Ooh, I love titles, as you can probably tell. It's just so important. It's the icing on the beautiful cake, and very important, I think. So, electric fences. I grew up in the country. My best friend had horses. They had electric fences. And we sometimes, touch them.
Yep.
Not on purpose. Sometimes, and that's intense. And so, as Howard said about the intensity, so energetically, within my family system, there was that kind of, because of the generational trauma, on my mom and just in the whole family. But there was definitely this crackling barrier to connecting. And lack of safety, right? Electric fences aren't safe. It's safety for the farmer to keep his animal in, right? Not safe for the animal. So I was the animal and I wanted out. So electric fences. Okay. And then the other one, a measure of contrast.
Yeah. I love that.
Well, like this 10-year process of writing my story and going in to the moments and realizing, because I never really had time for reflection, because it just kept rolling. Like the car wrecks just kept happening. So I had no time to stop, sit still, go in and examine the evidence, right? Mm-hmm. So I saw like in a certain way, you see what you don't want. You actually see what you do want by looking at what you don't want at times. And it's like, I don't want to be like that, because from a compassionate standpoint, you feel it and you're like, I don't want to subject people to that. And then there was like, when somebody's really loved, such as is part of that chapter, I was like, wow, like this person is so loved. And I absolutely feel like the opposite of the timeline. Just a little bit off the end, like a little bit of love and wanting that, longing for that, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, because of energy and because of that love, just a system of love, it's almost like a little fire. You can kind of draw near to it like a little campfire, and it kind of warms you a little bit if you allow it to, if you're not jealous and bitter that you don't have it. But if you actually just, that feels nice. That feels
Yeah.
nice, and appreciate it rather than, yeah, you get it.
Yeah. Thank
Exciting.
you. I think this is why it's so important to, from an author, a fellow author perspective, to move through this journey in a unique way, because some people really kind of look at the the chapters, the titles, or the introduction, or the forward, whatever it may be, but there's such story within the story. And that's what I felt from you through the book. And again, I'm sure each one of us, we could spend hours just talking, having coffee, and really moving into the commonalities and the contrasts of our life. But I think it brings such a beautiful insight to the listeners. Just that moment of even just the campfire and a bit of warmth, and understanding that there will be contrast, and that doesn't always have to break you. It can also support you into seeing what you don't have, so you start to welcome what you can have. So beautifully stated, Nattolie. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Christiana have also put on her sunglasses, and in the comment section she put a lot of smiley faces with glasses. So my beautiful Nattolie, I also had Jane Fonda's aerobic workout. Toot, 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 toot. I didn't wear that skinny, that leotard outfit. I didn't have the body for that. But I love the part that you were talking about Mrs. Cameron. I also had a miss, and her surname was Van Tonner, and she was the essence of roses. And I remember I was not in a nursery school. I remember she taught me, she took my hand. They were trying to teach me not to write left before I went to school, because in those years they said if you are a left writer, you are a dummy. So I was hit until I was writing with, and she took sometimes my hand and just come with a flow. And I remember going up and smelling a perfume like roses. So that brought a beautiful memory that I had for grade one. I love your dog called Nugget. That was like amazing. How, if I can ask you the question, how those even those three memories I just mentioned, how did it make you feel when you were putting it into the book?
It lightened my heart. And I feel like Creator actually, through the writing of it, well, first of all, it lightened my heart. It made me see that in that very terrible situation, that God sent an angel to me in the form of Mrs. Cameron. And in the last few years, I've started to work with little kids, like in Sunday school, a little bit, which has been so healing. But he actually said, "Be like Mrs. Cameron," and so that is like paying it forward, where the safety, the warm breeze that she offered me, that I can be that wherever I am, right? Yes. Thank you. I love Mrs. Cameron. She's passed away now, but bless her heart.
Thank you. I do believe sometimes we don't realize all the angels, and the angels can be even an animal form that God sent our way to uplift us. So, my beautiful Howard, my American man, all over to you.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's coming in.
Yep.
I'm coming in. I just got off mute. So, Nattolie, I ended up kind of putting the book in layers, and you put it in 3 layers. And I will tell you, the hardest layer was the first part, which was Hungry for Love.
Mm.
That I cried through it. It was deep. It was impactful. I was so sad for this little girl. I really was. And then we went on to Starved by Choice, the second section. And then you brought some air. I got to breathe in the section about nourishing healing. Can you give me some insights? Give the audience some insights into the layers, because this is a big tease. I want people to get the book. This is a book of love and healing. But the first part was such a difficult. Just imagining what you went through. It's just. I'm so glad you're with us today and so strong and powerful. What you had to endure is unfair. It's not right. And you fixed yourself. And I'm so proud of you, proud to know you. So tell me about the layering of this book.
Well, I have to give credit for this strategy to my developmental editor. And she was just, she was like, this is a lot. This is a lot for your reader. They need breaks because it was grueling to live it. And I didn't want to traumatize my reader through it. I needed to leave some lighter moments. So I really like the layering. I love cake. So the layering, cupcakes, icing, all that. With my neurolinguistics, I use those kinds of metaphors to bring me comfort also. Comfort. So, okay, I'm trying to answer this question. So it really is, it's a lot about food. So spiritual food, emotional food, and literal food. And as a little child, I was addicted to sugar so badly. I was binging, I used it. And then it transitioned into the more middle part into other addictive substances, which were stronger because I needed a stronger medicine because the load was heavier. And then I adapted to find other sources of nourishment like acknowledgement, finding a way to be acknowledged, finding a way to grab the room by the balls, as I said at one point. That girl learned how to do that. And not proud of that, but you know what? That was what she had. And so to the audience, I just say, have compassion for these adaptations, whether it's binging, whatever you're doing. So compassion, just turning it towards yourself, can start to loosen the grip. And also, you all are so healing for me right now in witnessing me, Howard, and you saying that you feel compassion for that little girl. I've had that statement very few times in my life, and it's very meaningful to me. And yes, the contrast thing, Laura, I've used it with super survivors that make my story look like a cakewalk. That I read their stories and I go, if they've gotten over all that, no problem. I can do it. So that's very helpful in our healing. Howard, can you direct me if you're wanting a specific?
So you handle it beautifully. So 2 responses is one, the layering of the book. You hit it. You wove in some light moments because it's intense. And that strategically, I thought one of the things I wrote down was that it took you 10 years to write this, but writing a book is a team sport.
Yeah.
And you got help where you needed to. So I think it worked for you, and you totally read into it. The second thing is that what the other word that came to me was true vulnerability. You really allowed yourself to be vulnerable, and as part of a cathartic healing. And that's what I took away in finally getting from the hard stuff to the healing stuff. So very vulnerable, very true, and it made me look in, and I don't think that comparing other people's pain is and where you're at now is in such a beautiful place that you are an inspiration. And I will tell you that you're being called in the chat an angel, and I believe that, and I believe
Aw,
that.
that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
There's our Howard.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And a lot of people write a book and they will just tell their story. But there's this one section, I have to do this because this is such an amazing platform to do this. You spoke about an incident. You can elaborate if you want, where you had a little bit too much to drink, and you passed out, and nobody even noticed. The chaperones didn't even notice, and it was kind of like in your life, a reflection again, kind of like that shattering of your life that you're MIA and no one would notice. But the point that I really want to put out, that you could have just told that whole story, which you did talk about it, and it's very impactful, but you wanted to specifically talk and bring awareness to child alcohol poisoning. So I'm, like I said, there's so many opportunities that authors and speakers and everybody else could tell their stories, but you did one step above that. You brought this awareness. And I know when people buy this book, they're going to not only listen and see your story and see how it played out, but because of that, they're going to think, oh my goodness, it's so true. The statistics and everything like that. So thank you, first of all, so much for bringing awareness to something that's so near and dear to my heart. And so I'll let you elaborate any way you'd like to on that.
Okay. Yeah. The number, being a teenage alcoholic and basically just obliterating every weekend, obliterating myself. And nobody, said anything that I could remember, at least. Maybe they did. Maybe I didn't hear them. But yes, it's really, really important to talk to your kids. And I understand, and also open the door for the conversation that, how much are you drinking? Because they go off and they're taking drugs and they're doing their things. And if we can be a safe person and to keep the door, the line of communication open where we're not flipping out, oh, you had how many drinks, where you just say, how much are you having? Things like that. And nobody ever asked me that. But in retrospect, I had an angel who I didn't include, but I want to thank him. His name was Aaron. His real name was Aaron, and he was an older man, like older than me, but he looked over me. He sat with me. He wouldn't leave me, and he protected me. I am sure of it. So thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
You were,
you know what? Again, you're giving tribute, to someone else. And that's what I found throughout the book. it wasn't all about you. It was, the people who came into your life and who helped you. And I know for myself, when I get this book, the actual book Unsilenced, I'm going to share with my teenagers that after reading this book, I was surprised about the number of people, teenagers or children or whatever, who actually die of alcohol poisoning. So, kind of using your book as a platform to open up the conversation to so many people. And I know I'm definitely going to be doing that to my children, and I know so many other people will. So, thank you so much.
That makes me so happy because that was absolutely my intention, that it be a teaching, not teachy, but there be actual use, purpose and usefulness, not just a bunch of stories that
Yeah.
fly in the wind.
Yeah,
No
no,
purpose.
you impacted, I know myself so much, and now you're going to be continuing to impact other people with honoring that. So thank you, Laura.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Christa.
again, there's a lot of branches off of this big ass tree. Excuse me, Howard. I said a little swear word. I think this is, again, I say this as often as I can. I want to acknowledge the Miss Dancing Queen, Sanet, for putting this style of human to human connectivity together. There's so many people that would never know who you are, or any of us, or your story, or what Krista just brought in. All of these beautiful variations of perspective and perception that will have impact on someone listening. And it's so powerful. So I personally want to acknowledge Sanette. Do not take this for granted. I've got two questions, so I'm kind of having a war of which one, but I just asked the universe, and this is the one. So you wrote about reclaiming divine identity. This is something really important to me for many different reasons. Some of what I do, mostly because of who I am, things I've gone through in my life that I don't talk about, but I'm certainly not unsilenced about them. I really believe in becoming the architect of how we think and how we move through life in order to live an empowered life so that we can go out into the world and empower others. You talk about repurposing pain in order to reclaim dreams. And there's probably many listeners that can't even bridge the idea of that at the moment, even to dream, right? Maybe they still are very silenced, or they're just starting to think about really breaking, right, the glass cube. What's maybe your empowerment uh, add in that you can share with the listeners? You've been through a lot. And so, as we all are coaches and speakers and writers, but there's something about your story that I think would resonate with that particular repurposing pain in order to reclaim something about yourself, your journey, your exploration, your discovery. Um, just share something about that, because I think that's really empowering for the listeners to know that you can repurpose it, and you can
Hmm.
grace the cover of a magazine. You can be a co-author and an individualized author. You can have this beauty about yourself through all of that ugliness and really create dreams to come true. So, just a little bit of kind of free thinking around that for the listening audience.
So beautiful. And I want to add on with Sanet. Sanet, thank you. Us meeting, the timeliness of this after 10 years, I've just been shown the divine timing is perfect. And, we might think we're not in it, but we are. And so you, four angels, being here with me, you give me so much comfort. and to come out with this. I mean, there are no better people that I can imagine to do this with me. So you're like, yeah, you know, when you're growing a garden and you've got a great big tomato that's flopping over, well, you guys are like my stakes holding me up
Nice.
so that I can, like, yeah, be very, very rooted and very fruitful and yeah, share a lot of goodness. So that's the intention. Pain repurposed. Okay, so in 2017, I did a photo shoot, and it was named Pain Repurposed. So it was a picture of a prostitute and in a latex jacket. And that same latex jacket I wore on the Diamond Moments cover. Yes. So there is a pain repurposed. I'm very intentional about literally, physically buying objects. Courage. Buying objects to anchor it in. Okay, so that intention of having that photo taken, so I was directed to do it, and I wore this necklace. It has his on it. This was not my idea, but in the last 45 minutes, God said, put that necklace on. Yeah. And I'm like, really? I mean, it's so like, whatever. It's just so loud. But, you know, I've always loved costume jewelry ever since I was a kid. So as I did that fashion shoot, I literally started primal screaming spontaneously. And that was a releasing of that false identity of the SLUT word that so many women are painted with. And just that scream, just breaking it and like, no, I am his. So step by step, layering worth. So for me, there's that statement, God doesn't make any junk.
Yeah.
So taking that to heart, it's like, okay, well, I was made and I'm not junk. So I don't care who on this earth thinks that I am. They didn't make me. And I'm going to like believe the creator, right? I believe the creator and I choose to believe. But, you know, I was given that faith. I was given that supernatural inspiration. So what else? Yeah, so my intention during that shoot was that I wanted it to be used for human trafficking. In 2020, after doing this 9-month-long training to speak, because I thought it was like, I better prepare for the future, because when this book comes out, I'm going to need to be able to be on camera comfortably. Right? And so in 2020, there was a call for artwork called ArtX Freedom. I got in under the wire, 24 hours, entered it, and was given international mention with Exodus Cry and their trafficking hub campaign that's been able to put laws in place to protect kids, you know, requiring identification for porn sites. So that's a passion for me because I was impacted by looking at the wrong things too early.
Yeah.
And so just all these things, it was just like, take that negative impact and impact for the other side. Darkness, light, this light.
Wow.
It's really about taking the negative to simplify it, really neutralizing your superpowers, which you did, and bringing something positive out in the world. So I love it. It's beautiful. And again, it is a teaching moment for people to understand that you can have an image of, let's say, a prostitute, but then you can also have an image of pure beauty and strength and resolve by repurposing, right? Who you are. And I love what you just said, layering the worth. That's going to stick with me because this is really, I think, what you've been doing and you continue to do. That self-worth, that self-empowerment is just layer on top of layer. And you're just building this incredible force field of who you are becoming, which was always in you anyways, because you're right. There is no junk DNA. God never messes up, ever. Thank you.
I love it. So my beautiful Nattolie, you got more glasses from the beautiful comments from our beautiful viewers. So it's time for paparazzi. It's time for how the feet run. So remember the first word or two words that comes to mind. I will do the paparazzi, and we all will go paparazzi, and then all over to you, my beautiful miracle man.
Thank you. So what I do, Nattolie, is that I end up reflecting on the chapters and words that speak to me, and then I want to hear how you reflect on them. And so the first word that I thought about for the first layer was darkness. So short
Fire.
response. So counter the darkness with fire.
Fire. Love fire.
I actually say it as light, but I love fire because it's more intense. So thank you for that. I want to talk about what is possible with humans. So human resolve, which you clearly have and showed and worked hard on your human resolve. Human resolve, what does that mean to you?
Muscle. So spiritual muscle, emotional muscle, physical muscle, because they all work together to make us strong.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good
I got my magic orb. That's a great one. All right. And then I want you to hold up your courage, because that was one of the words that came to me. So you had
Courage.
Did she freeze or did I freeze?
Yeah.
You cut out there for a sec.
So
courage. So
is
just
the word
courage?
for you. Courage. Yeah, courage.
Courage. Mother.
Ooh. Oh, I love this.
I like this a lot. The
That's
next
good.
is the words that were on the cover of the Diamond Moments magazine called you a lighthouse. What does that mean to you?
Stormy sea.
Wow. And then the last thing is that please tell everyone what a truth coach is. Because you're self-titled. What is a truth coach?
Ooh. Well, first of all, I am led by the Spirit of truth. So Jesus is, my master. People have yogi masters, all kind of masters. He's mine. Way, truth, life. So the truth, the truth is how I found all the evidence and all the pieces of my life by receiving that truth, by getting out of denial instead of calling it something it wasn't, telling the truth about it. No, they're not nice. I used to say, they're nice. They're so nice. No, they're not. That's darkness. That is cruelty. It's not nice. Truth coach. So I am led, like I have a tendency to still keep secrets. I have a tendency, because of the trauma, to want to hide things, and which can appear as though I'm lying or deceptive. And so I ask the Spirit of truth to fill me, give me the courage to stand and be transparent. And that's how, with that stronger spirit, my spirit isn't, I want the all-powerful spirit to embolden me to stand with somebody else, and then combined with compassion to receive their secrets, to just kind of stand with them, put my hand on their shoulder, and it's like, look, I'm with you. Look at it, feel it, just walk with people to embrace whatever it is so that we can detoxify from it. We can't detoxify
Wow.
if we don't name it and feel it and puke it out, basically. Puke the pain out. Sorry for the ugly metaphor, but it is ugly.
It's the truth.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my beautiful Nattolie, our amazing spotlight author. Thank you, my Life Force Rosebud and my Miracle Man. I just want to say, my beautiful viewers, I hope that you are going to rush today still. Go to Nattolie's website, go and get, well, I will quickly let her tell you what you can receive from her website, and then and when her book is going to be launched. Nattolie?
Thank you, Sanet. Okay, so at breakupwithsecrets.com is my co-authored book, The Ripple Effect of Impact, chapter 16. So you can go there, sign up to subscribe, then you'll know when the launch is in the next few weeks. It's coming. And you can read chapter 16, and that will give you a taste of the style of writing that is in Unsilenced. And there's a little appetizer for a period of time that's sandwiched in the middle of the darkness when I was actually in NLP school.
Nice.
As a therapist, earning my therapy stuff. And the supernatural relationship. It's touched by the supernatural, that relationship with God.
Wow, incredible. So, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I would love to ask first my author and my co-host if they would love to have a dance. And then to all my beautiful diamond beauties that have commented and gave us love, thank you so much. My beautiful Howard, Christa, Laura, and Nattolie, will you have a dance with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
My beautiful
Yes.
viewers and diamond beauties, will you have a dance with us? I said yes. I said yes. Here we go.
Yay.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love.
Our beautiful viewers, our beautiful Nattolie is part of our amazing community, Diamond Beauties Forever, Mrs. Spots. And her Mrs. Spots is starting in 4 minutes. So, my beautiful viewers, we are going to go and say goodbye because we're going to quickly want to ask Nattolie how she's feeling. Bye, everyone.